Nordstrom Inc. is an American luxury department store chain founded in 1901. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified of my latest videos. Please hit that like button and leave a suggestion or a comment. You might see that in a future video. Thanks for watching, and now back to a regular scheduled program.
It's the way you wear it, with a lot of flair and a little fun. You give it something it never had before, and it's the way you buy it. You have the American Express card. So for you, it's easy. Give it with a wink and a surprise, because it's the way you give it and the way you buy it. With style, with flair, with the American Express card.
Take the card to Nordstrom. Don't leave home without it.
John Nordstrom, a 16-year-old Swede, arrived in Minnesota in 1887 with $5 to his name, and after working his way across the United States, settled briefly in Seattle. In 1897, he headed north to Alaska in search of gold. He found it. After spending 2 years in Alaska, $13,000 richer, which is worth about $429,600 in today's value, Nordstrom moved back to Seattle in 1899. He married Hilda Carlson in 1900 and searched for a business venture. He decided to open a shoe store with Carl Wallin, a shoemaker he had met in Alaska. Carl Wallin, the co-founder of the store, was the owner of the adjacent shoe repair shop. On its first day of business in 1901, their store, Wallin and Nordstrom, sold $12.50 in shoes. John and Hilda Nordstrom would have 5 children, 3 of whom would follow them into the family business. Everett, born in 1903, Elmer, born in 1904, and Lloyd Nordstrom. The business picked up quickly. By 1905, sales increased to $80,000. The business continued to grow, and in 1923, the partners opened a second store in Seattle. By 1928, however, 57-year-old John Nordstrom had decided to retire from the shoe business and passed on his share to his sons Everett and Elmer. Carl Wallin retired soon after and likewise sold his shares to the next generation of Nordstroms. In 1933, John Nordstrom's youngest son, Lloyd, joined the partnership. The business that John Nordstrom left was substantially larger than the one he started back in 1901. It was up to the next generation of Nordstroms, however, to build on their father's success. In 1929, the Nordstrom brothers doubled the size of their downtown Seattle store. In 1930, despite the onset of the Great Depression, the 2 stores made $250,000 in sales. During World War II, when leather rationing prohibited U.S. consumers from buying more than 3 pairs of shoes a year, the Nordstrom brothers had to search nationwide for supplies of shoes. The Nordstrom brothers built the company into the largest independent shoe chain in the United States. In 1950, the Nordstroms opened 2 new shoe stores, one in Portland, Oregon, and the other in a Seattle suburb. 9 years later, Nordstrom remodeled this Seattle flagship store and stocked it with over 100,000 pairs of shoes, the biggest inventory in the country. By 1961, Nordstrom operated 8 shoe stores and 13 leased shoe departments in Washington, Oregon, and California. That year, the firm grossed $12 million in sales and had 600 employees on its payroll. In the early 1960s, the Nordstrom brothers came to a crossroads of sorts. Spurred by their success, they were convinced that their business could expand. The brothers were unsure whether they should simply expand their shoe business to the east and south or branch out into other areas of retailing. The brothers chose to diversify and purchased Best Apparel, a Seattle-based women's clothing store. With the addition of apparel outlets, the company expanded rapidly. In 1966, the company acquired a Portland retail fashion outlet, Nicholas Unger, and merged it with the Nordstrom shoe store in Portland. In the late 1960s, the modern Nordstrom department store began to take shape. Between 1965 and 1968, the company opened 5 stores that combined apparel and shoes. In 1967, when annual sales had reached $40 million, the chain's name was changed to Nordstrom's Best. The firm diversified further in these years as Nordstrom Best began to sell men's and children's clothing as well. In 1968, Everett Nordstrom and his 2 brothers decided to turn over the reins of the company to the next generation of Nordstroms. 5 men, Everett's son Bruce, Elmer's sons James and John, Lloyd's son-in-law John McMillan, and family friend Robert E. Bender, took control of the company in 1970. In August of 1971, the company went public, offering Nordstrom Best stock on the over-the-counter market. In 1973, when sales first topped $100 million, the company changed its name to Nordstrom, Inc. In 1976, the firm launched a new division, Place 2, which features in smaller stores a selected offering of men's and women's apparel and shoes. By 1977, Nordstrom operated 24 stores. In 1978, Nordstrom expanded into the Southern California market, opening an outlet in Orange County. By 1980, Nordstrom was the 3rd largest specialty retailer in the country, ranking behind only Saks Fifth Avenue and Lord & Taylor. That year, the firm operated 31 stores in California, Washington, Oregon, Utah, Montana, and Alaska. By 1983, there were 10 Place 2 stores, but the cost of upgrading the smaller stores, especially from a systems perspective, outweighed the benefit, and the division was discontinued. In 1982, Nordstrom launched a 3rd division, Nordstrom Rack, a string of outlet stores that the firm used to move old inventories at discount prices. The chain's biggest growth area, however, was in the huge California market. By 1984, there were 7 Nordstrom stores in that state. 5 years later, Nordstrom had 22 full-size stores in California. The last 2 remaining Place 2 stores closed on April 1, 1995. In 2000, the Nordstrom family reasserted its control with sons of Bruce Nordstrom's Blake, Eric, and Peter assuming senior roles in the company, which they continue to hold. Blake Nordstrom served as sole president of the company from 2000 to 2014, with Eric and Peter joining him as co-presidents in 2015. Nordstrom sold a standalone boutique called Fashionable in 2007, though it still offers that label in its lineup. In 2011, Nordstrom's announced the acquisition of Outlook, an LA-based online retailer that offers flash sales on designer goods. In 2016, Nordstrom's entered into a partnership with Tesla Motors, under which the automaker opened retail galleries inside 4 Nordstrom locations. In February of 2017, Bloomberg News reported that Nordstrom would cease to carry Ivanka Trump's branded fashion line, citing weak sales. The retailer cuts 10% of its most poorly performing brands each year. Then President Donald Trump responded with a tweet directed at Nordstrom's, condemning the brand for its treatment of his daughter. In March 2020, Eric Nordstrom became the sole CEO of Nordstrom's. So what are your memories about Nordstrom? Leave a comment below. For me, it was a place where my mom would take me school shopping. My mom seemed to know everyone there. They would all greet her by her name. And who can forget Nordstrom's return policy?
Hi, how may I help you? I bought these socks, and I wore them once, but I just don't like the feel of the fabric. Can I still return them?
Of course. Would you like me to credit your account?
Yes, please. I'm going to take a look around.
Great. May I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'd like to return something.
I can do that for you.
Well, I'm not really positive I got it in this department, and I seem to have misplaced the receipt. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, it hasn't been used much.
Would you like store credit or cash?
Cash, if that's not a problem.
Not at all.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend. Hi.
Hi, I'd like to make an exchange.
Certainly.
I'm returning this, and I'd like that.
Jake?
No, that one.
Oh, Connor.
I don't know what I was thinking. You know how it is, anniversary sale, impulse buy.
We've all done it. Sign here, please.
All right. I got him home, I just didn't like the way he looked on me.
Believe me, working here with the employee discount, I've made a ton of mistakes. Would you like a gift box today?
No, not today.
Thanks for shopping at Nordstrom.
Hey, if you just watched my video, thanks for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe to Eric C. Productions.